We're going to look at how to find the angles that you can find in and about parallel lines. These two lines I've got here are parallel, and we know that because of these two arrows that I've put on there. Now, if I put another line through these parallel lines, so a straight line through there, you can see that I've made a sort of Z shape. So let's call this a Z angle. Now, the angles I'm going to talk about in this Z angle are this one and this one. These two angles are exactly the same size. So if you know one of them, that means you know both of them. So let's say that this angle was 40 degrees. That means this one would be 40 degrees as well. So in a common entrance question, you might get quite a complicated diagram. There might be more lines on it than just this. So you've got to kind of almost ignore other lines to try and dig out this Z shape. If you can find that Z shape, then you know that those two angles are the same. It could be a backwards Z, so it could look like this. Backwards Z. Oh no, that's the same. I do apologise. Going that way. There we go. Backwards Z. So that means this angle and this angle are the same. Okay, so that's a Z angle. Let's have a look at, again, parallel lines. But this time I'm going to put a line through it like so. And now it looks a bit like an F angle. So we'll call this an F angle or a fangle. Now in this case, the two angles that I'm going to look at are this one underneath here and this one underneath here. These two angles are also equal. So if this angle was 100 degrees, this one would also be 100 degrees. Now there are the technical name for these are corresponding, because these two angles correspond with each other. If I showed you this angle here and that angle there, they're also the same. Okay, now they would be 80 degrees. They're both 80 degrees, and the reason I know that they're 80 is because of this straight line here. I know that all of it adds up to 180. Okay, now I just want to show you one more. Here are our parallel lines again. I'm going to put a line straight through again like so. And now you can see I've made a sort of C angle, a C shape. So let's call this a C shape, C angle, or a cangle. Now, this one is slightly different, so I'm going to show you these two angles here. So on the inside of your C shape, you've got two angles. Now these aren't equal, but they do add up to 180. So if this one was 110, I know that this one must be 70, because they must add up to 180. And in the same way, it could be a backwards C. So I know that this angle and this angle adds up to 180. Now again, in common entrance questions, these diagrams can get quite complicated, so you've got to really search for these Zangles, fangles and cangles. Really search for them. Look for the parallel lines. It might be that you're given a parallelogram. If you're given a parallelogram, then you know that these angles, these sides, are parallel. Therefore, you know that this and this looks like a C angle, doesn't it? So we know that those two would add up to 180. Okay, there we are.